Cool.
Boom.
We're fucking live.
We're
Let's
live.
go, boys.
HIGHER.ZIP. What stream is this? Is this number 4 or 5?
I think it's 5 or 6. Maybe even 6 or 7. No, maybe even 6. Let's see. Let's take a look right now at the
69.
stats. The statistics.
Dude, I heard that if you release 25 podcast episodes, you're in the top 1% of all podcasts.
Oh, really? That's that
Yeah.
many podcasts don't make it past 25.
Yeah, I think I heard that from Jack Butcher.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we're a fourth of the way to being in the top
We're
1%.
7. This is 7.
7. Sick.
Last
GG,
week was
boys.
6.
Well, Cam, do you want to just jump into that real quick since you're tight today?
Yeah. So, okay. Some progress has been made. Last week we talked about having chat on HZip, and I know we want to continue the discussion around access to that. But what I wanted to do is retrofit some of the work that I had done for this Trenches chat app, position it to hopefully work within HZip. So the big thing that was a blocker was the sign-in process, because it required like a Farcaster signer and yada yada. It was very sort of clunky. And so now when you go there, it's a slightly better process. It can work from a mini app. It can also work on the website, but it's just, so when you go there and you go to type a message, so I'll say this, it'll say log in to get started. You guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just connect your wallet, MetaMask, in my case. And then you sign a message. And then you should be good to go. Yeah. And it shows how much there you have it.
Hi.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's like a pretty basic utility. It just brings in your wallet address, ties it to your FID, and then pulls all the addresses associated with that FID, and then shows your whole balance of HIGHER. I don't have that much HIGHER, but I have
sick.
some.
Here, I'll buy you some live. Watch the chart.
Watch the chart. Eyes on the chart, guys.
Come on.
Should I go to the 1 second chart?
Yeah.
And buy some right before you.
You can front run me?
It was actually crazy. Did you guys see Merkel? They accidentally dumped a bunch of rewards into people's wallets.
No, I didn't see that.
What?
You know how they were doing that like 10% yield if you deposit money?
Yeah.
So I deposited money and a bunch of other people did, right? And then in the reward payout that I think it goes out like a little bit every day, instead of sending whatever they were gonna send, it seems like they just sent me my balance, so my money just doubled.
Shit. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Did they you get to keep that then, right?
Yeah, Dan said just keep it to everyone.
Imagine everyone giving that back. Fuck that.
Yeah. Anyways, so I got to get some more HIGHER is the point.
Does it live update or you have to refresh for it to update?
This chart? I'm
Even-
wondering the same thing.
Well,
Like,
even the balance, that would be fire if the balance would live update. You see the numbers going up on literally everyone's username.
Yeah, would you put it in the chat like buy from anybody that's in the chat itself?
that could be sick. Yeah. Yeah.
Spam the
Actually,
chat.
yeah, it would be really cool if we had like a little trading widget right here so that you could just do it from right here and then.
That
Yeah.
would be huge. But there's no red button, only green.
You can only buy.
That's actually hilarious.
Or the sell button is like the close button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it just moves every time you hover over it, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's a good
fucking
bit.
funny. Damn,
Are you
so
guys
many,
able to
so many
log
little,
in?
oh, sorry. Let me try.
Let me try.
Sweet.
Man, so many little interactions that are lost by using mobile, huh?
It's true.
Like you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that thing with the hovering over.
That's exactly right. Sadly, until we're all in the Vision Pro and you just
Eye
look at your eyes.
Yeah. Eye tracking is going to be sick. You look at like a hamburger button and the menu just expands or something, or has a track state.
It's kind of sick, man. Dude, my Wi-Fi is kind of scuffed right now. It's just in this room too. Here we go. All right, connecting, signing, and I got drained. We're in.
Damn, look at that balance.
Let's fucking go.
Already got this.
I've been buying here. I've been buying at these lows, boys.
Wow. Smart investment decisions.
We're stupid. We'll see.
4 million higher sounds like a lot of higher. Is that like 20 grand of higher?
No. Well, at one time, it's 7.1K.
Nice.
Man. All-time high was 100 mil, bro. We're at what, 1.7?
No, we gotta be higher than that. Right?
No, it's 1.7.
Let's see, market cap. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was 4 recently. Then,
Wow, the
Oh, he
smallest,
said.
the smallest balance.
Damn, that's embarrassing. I thought I was small. Too, Brian.
I need to get to work.
No, it's all good.
At least it's not 1.
Yeah, who is one? Hey, ZBT.
AZTV. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know them on Farcaster. We got a HB.
So,
Okay, so what does that look like as far as integration on the HZIP site?
so what we can do is, I'm thinking we kind of. Oh, and by the way, you can also see like who's online, even if they're not sending messages.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
That's fire.
I love that.
So I'm thinking we hide the chart and just make it a chat widget that is like a corner or something that can expand, but it's just basically like what we're looking at now, just like instead of it taking up the whole screen, it's just like like the Facebook Messenger on facebook.com, if you guys know what I'm talking about, like the little chat box.
Never heard of it.
You heard of this site?
Startup. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, like when they do like the messenger in the lower right or something?
Yeah, that. Something like that.
Like the mini app, basically, on desktop.
Yeah.
Mini app pop up. Would it come out of the clicker, though, Brian?
Yeah, it can.
Is that good? I don't know if that's better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I originally had in mind for it to be triggered by the clicker.
It makes sense, I suppose.
But I guess we could also have it just appear. And maybe the clicker can close it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it doesn't have to rely on that to pop up. Sure. But maybe we use it to control it afterwards.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm going to see if we can just iframe base trenches and see if that works. We'll experiment live. We'll probably need to adjust the content security policy on the site for it to work, but always curious. Oh,
Where's it? Oh shit, there it goes.
Oh,
Look at that.
we're gonna chat, boys.
So, so you would have to like, um, you know, what's it called? Remove the chart and all that stuff manual or separately, or
yeah. I mean, I would just like make it a config option to like hide it.
cool.
Let's say
Sick.
make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so it'd be kind of, like this. And then maybe it could be draggable, Brian. I know you had like that draggable library.
Yeah.
Um,
And then it wouldn't have the back button, I assume, because we could only chat in the higher chat.
yeah, no back button.
Love that.
I
Interesting.
do love that.
So is there any way to adjust the styling or anything like that? Would there be any way?
I mean, we can make a way. Like, it's not like anyone else is using it. Oh, cool, in a sense. All right, yeah,
Oh,
so
sick.
we can do it.
I love that.
Would it, so then it requires a second login then when you send a message? It's just a signing of a message is what it is.
It requires it for the first time you hit the page. Right now, we don't save it locally, but we can add that so you only have to do it once.
That would be cool.
So then a user has to log into HIGHER.ZIP, or or sometimes they're already logged in if it's the mini app, and then log into chat again, right? Or
There technically is no login to HIGHER.ZIP right now.
okay.
There would be like a login for this chat thing because it requires them to sign a message. So this would be the only place that they have to do that, I think.
Okay, cool.
Right. So technically, you would sign into this chat if you want to yap, and then if you wanted to donate, you're still connecting your wallet separately.
Yeah.
Right.
Dope.
You know what? Fuck yeah. At least we have a chat.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's super awesome. The now is begs the question of like, and this is me being non-technical, like how I would have to be on the HIGHER.ZIP page to be reading that chat like while we're streaming, as opposed to, just on the Google Meets link, right?
Yeah, to see the chat, you would have to be on HIGHER.ZIP. Yeah.
Or you could also go to basetrenches.com and just read the chat there too.
True.
I'd probably just open it on my phone, to be honest.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that, shit, I'm losing my train of thought literally as I'm thinking it. Wait, fuck. Fuck, I lost it. Oh my
That's like a
god,
sneeze,
it was
bro.
literally
Really?
right there.
You almost had it, bro.
I almost
We were
had it.
rooting
I
for you.
really thought I was gonna get that back. Damn it. Sorry.
Next week,
Sorry.
back to bed.
Yeah.
Damn, it's really not coming back, huh?
It's really not.
Oh,
The
we
more
were
I
talking
try to
about
think
chat.
about it.
Chat login, chat styling, nothing.
Chat styling. Oh, yes, I remember now. So it's putting the chat in the UI of the video itself. Like we don't want to do that, right? Like from a video streaming perspective, not from like the higher.zip visiting the site. I'm talking about like if someone sees it on YouTube, for example, right? If someone is watching the live stream on YouTube or anywhere else other than higher.zip, do we want the chat to pop up on the screen there?
I feel like we do. That's like a sort of mainstay in streaming is seeing the chat.
It kind of is, yeah. Yeah.
It is sick.
I don't know. I have no idea how we do that.
I
Right.
can do that, but I just think the part that I get hung up on is the double chat essentially.
Because it would show up on the Higher Zip site as well,
Exactly.
not just on the YouTube stream.
We would
Which
have to
seems-
create essentially another canvas to stream with and without it. It would add
Yeah.
it would add another layer. Yeah, it would add another step, another layer, another step.
Maybe not for now, then, because we would. I mean, ideally, the experience is, more seamless on the site than it is on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So if I'm on the site looking at double chat, it is fucking cool. And there's this really cool Fred Again video where he's up in this loft DJing with some UK rapper, and it is just a YouTube video, but the chat is in the YouTube video. And I'm not the biggest fan of like the liquid glass shit, but it had that liquid glass chat, and it was just roaring while he's DJ. It was so cool. It adds so much energy, in an interesting way so it's hard not to want to do that. But I don't know. I think for now the base trenches application is plenty good.
Yeah, I'd have to think about how to build something to simplify that. Like, yeah, could I take the stream, basically intercept the stream before it gets to YouTube and insert base trenches? Only on that stream, not on, not on the one that goes to live peer, basically.
Right.
That's on you, dog. I have no idea.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for the next week now.
Would be cool. Would definitely.
Because I definitely, I agree. I think it would be dope.
But
especially
if it doesn't work, at least we have a place for homies to be interacting, which is.
Oh, not only that, dude. What I just thought of was the Zora live streaming. Is that gonna have a chat also? I'm assuming it does.
I'm assuming it will. Yeah, I'm assuming they're just trying to like do Twitch with coins.
Right.
Yeah, it has a chat. There's a chat, and you like buy their coin in chat. Basically, what we were just talking about.
So I can go on desktop and see who's live. Is that right?
I don't think.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone is live right now, or at least maybe I should log in before. Let's see.
I don't know how many people they have opened it up to yet, but a fair few, I feel like.
A fair few, I feel.
Say that 10 times fast.
I'm accidentally throwing out alliterations all the time, and I didn't know that until you were around.
Just bars.
Also, bro, I gotta call out the Bud Light water bottle. That's water in there, right?
Yeah, that's water. It's definitely water, bro.
Yeah, I'm on the site right now. I don't see. Oh shit! I gotta bounce in like 1 minute. My like immediate is I'm gonna try and port that in. Brian, we can work on some styling stuff between now and next week. And yeah, just have a fucking chat in there.
Sick.
Love it, dude. Badass. Great work, Cam. As always.
Hell yeah.
We got to chat more about the NFT stuff. So maybe we'll just
The receipt.
Well, there's the receipt, which okay. So I have a quick update on the receipt. I did a governance proposal, and then I realized. So I don't know if you go to HIGHER.ZIP now, you'll see a governance proposal. Don't vote on it because what it'll do is it'll mint the second to last receipt. Like it mints like the data is all accurate, but it won't mint your receipt. It'll mint the receipt of the person before you because we call it before the donation is complete. So we have to figure out a way to actually like get it consistently triggered. Because initially my hack to put it in like the governance stuff doesn't actually issue it at the time that you make the donation. So.
Okay. We're close though. We're close.
Yeah, we're close. I just don't know how to have it automatically, unless the person does another transaction and just mints it right afterward.
Yeah.
So
What about it? There's no timers, right? Like mint this in 30 minutes.
we could do. There's a actually, dude, right on. That's it. There's this random number generator called Pith that you basically request a random number, and then in the next block it calls a function. And so we could request a random number. We don't actually use the random number. We just use that to call mint. And then, yeah.
There it is.
Okay. Okay. We have a plan. We got a plan.
Cool. You saw
Just
that
like
live
that.
here on higher.zip, dude.
No, because it's like, I was assuming that it has to happen, you know, in that transaction. And we don't have a way to actually do it in that transaction with the way that we've set up the purple pool, taking the donation and then kicking it out to governance. So this is clever.
Well, is that even better too? Because then the donor doesn't actually have to mint the NFT themselves, and it just shows up in their wallet.
Yeah, of course, it's way better.
That's
Initially,
cool.
we were trying to have it so that when they donate it in that same transaction, it
Same.
does that, but we actually can't do that. And so,
I see.
yeah, but this is definitely better than them hitting like mint after they've donated. This will just kick it out to them.
Nobody even really knows that it didn't happen in that transaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Sick.
It's genius. It's fucking genius. Love it.
Cool. So trenches and sorting that out. It'll also be a governance proposal again, for that callback sort of. It's like a callback in the sort of technical speak, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says upgrade governance expires in 50 minutes. If you guys see the proposal on HIGHER.ZIP, just don't vote on it. Let it expire. We'll have a new governance upgrade coming that actually handles that.
Cool. Love it.
Cool. Let's chat more about the market stuff in chat. I gotta bounce.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Be good, man. Have fun.
See you guys. See ya.
Chill. Peace. Oh shit, so
Alright,
now is
but-
it only you? Because you're the only... It's just you and me, so I'm the little guy now. You're the...
Wait.
Oh shit, and my face is being blocked by the HIGHER.ZIP.
Oh, you can change your, how do you change the screen?
Can you?
The screen mode, yeah, you can, hit the kebab, as they call it.
Ah, yes.
By the
Makes me
adjust
hungry
view.
every time. Let's see. It's gonna work. Is it gonna work? I think I need to get a new computer, bro. This thing is pissing me off.
Dude, do it. You never regret buying a new computer.
It's so true. It's just a big bullet to swallow at first, but yeah, once you have it, it's like, oh, dude, I'm fucking good for another 5 years.
Mm-hmm. No, dude, you have to. You know that, and credit cards, bro, it's a free laptop.
True.
Think about it.
So then what do I do? Adjust view, tiled? Huh.
Yeah, just view. Oh, wait.
Tiled
Auto
legacy.
dynamic.
Maximum tiles to display. Yeah, it's still... I mean, it definitely lets me adjust stuff, but...
Actually, I can't figure it out either. My
Meeting
God.
tools?
Show in a tile. Oh, yeah, down at the bottom. Where your little face is,
Show
hit
in
that
tile. There it
kebab
is.
and show in a tile.
We're back in business. There it is.
We're back, baby.
Cool. Google Meets, am I right?
Cutting edge.
Just
We're
real
figuring it out.
professional shit here.
Um,
So what else we got on the agenda? I saw you put an agenda.
well, I wanted to quickly just touch on a fun data point being that the pool has unclaimed fees of 0.05 ETH and 122,000 higher.
Look at that.
So we've generated almost half the higher we gave away in HC1.
Wow. Okay, that's fucking
So
awesome.
obviously it's been a few weeks and I want to be running these HCs I think more regularly. So either we need, I don't know what, we need to grow the pool for one, and two, we need to drive energy towards the token, you know,
Yeah.
more volume basically. The volume, the funniest part is all the volume lately is just people selling, which we still rake in fees from that hilariously, but the 122K higher is now worth like 1/3 of what it was when we lost HC1. So the number is nice, but the USD value is, as we all know, decreasing. But it's cool. It's awesome. I think what John was talking about a while ago with the claim way to incentivize people to want to go on there and hit claim would be maybe something fun to still pursue.
Oh yeah, like a souvenir or something.
Yeah, and maybe he had mentioned it being like a percent of the fees, which I thought was a great idea. But then he also pointed out that down the road,
People
if
bought it.
there's a shit ton of money in there, like 1%, 1% of $10 is $1, but 1% of 10 grand, you know, who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
just future proofing. But I think we had talked about being like $5-10 for anybody that clicks claim,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't have to scale over time, and it's still like, oh, that's cool. I just got $5 for going to the site.
That's true. Maybe just a one-time fee, I guess, or one-time amount, or sorry, one number. Yeah, instead of a percentage.
Yeah, static. But yeah, that's cool. I just want to point that out because I forgot that we're generating revenue, brother.
That's fucking sick. There's our business model right there.
Done. Just also, yeah, go back to bed on that one too. Just phone it in. I did want to talk about, especially now that it's just me and you, the HZ2 and 3.
Oh yeah.
So I had spoken with Toady Hawk a couple weeks back about doing like a Betterment collab in conjunction with the HZ challenge, which I think will be super beneficial, honestly. So my initial framework for that, and this is all driven by the idea that it would be nice to have kind of a library of looping content,
Yeah.
visually as well as audio. So HC2, I'm suggesting being looping video mission.
Yeah.
HC3, I'm suggesting being looping audio submission. And then, however long depending on what we get from the audio specifically, we can just throw in as many looping videos as we want behind any of those beats or whatever we receive. And I guess that really, once we have those submissions, we can make a better decision on exactly how we want to use them once we know like what we have. But I think that's a good baseline.
Yeah.
But with the Betterment for AC2, the idea being, So in HZ1 we did 2 reward pools, half for everybody that submitted, half for the winners that we chose. I'm thinking for the Betterment collab, what it would be is all of it goes to everybody who submits, and the winner gets the collab with Betterment, which means that we select the winner from HZ, then they go on the Betterment show with the piece that they created. That's turned into an NFT that all of the Betterment users then mint. For, I think they run them at like $2 a mint, I think typically. And what that does is minting this for $2 gets you a spin on the Betterment wheel, which is gamble. You can 100x your $2 investment, yada yada yada. So it's kind of like it is positive sum in a
Yeah.
weird way. It seems like a hack because the HZ winner gets every single mint, all that proceeds. No, that's not how it works. They get half. Half of it goes to Betterment, half of it goes to the artist. But that said, Toady was saying that the reward is typically like around $500,
That's
which is
cool.
more than what we would probably be putting up for a winner in HZ.
Yeah.
As well as they actually have people minting their work, which is cool. So they're getting even more exposure outside of the higher network. At least, whether or not people are minting it because they love the piece, not sure, but at least your name's getting out there.
Right.
And people are seeing your work, which is cool. And you'd be making more money than you would have if we didn't collab. So it's an interesting structure.
Yeah,
I don't know if I explained that very well, but
no, it definitely sounds fascinating. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a win all around, honestly.
it does, because we can then also offer more for the original pool that every submission splits.
Right.
So everybody submitting that doesn't win is also winning more.
Right.
So it is kind of just like a win-win-win. And Betterment wins, and HIGHER.ZIP and the higher network, obviously you just get more exposure.
Right.
Just generally.
Hell yeah.
Because they have a big audience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the plan for now. And honestly, I don't know. There's no way to precisely know how it's going to turn out, but basically Toady was like, everybody that's done it or been featured on the show has wanted to come back. So
that's a good sign, definitely.
It's worth it for a one-off try.
Yeah.
I think it'll be super beneficial from what I understand. And if it's not, we just don't do it again. But
right.
I don't really see that as the scenario playing out.
No, I think it'll work. I think it'll work really well, honestly. It sounds like it'll work really well. Yeah.
I think so too.
I mean, and then in terms of like the release of the missions, is that something that you see being is 2 and 3 released at the same time?
Good question. I was considering them just being staggered.
Okay.
With less of a gap between 2 and 3 than 1 and 2 has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I do see them staggered.
Yeah.
It would be cool if, and I could talk to Toady again, I wonder if the timing between 2 and 3 works out to where they both could be the Betterment. I don't know if they've done like an audio or music mint on Betterment yet. I'll ask him, because that may be a cool thing to kind of break into, like being the first, whoever wins HZ3 is the first, song minted on Betterment. That could be badass.
Yeah. The site is the second B is not in there, right?
Say again?
The Betterment site.
I've never actually been to the site. I only have it on I use the mini app. It's BETR.
BETR. Okay, yeah, betterment.fun. And this is better like betting, not like the betterment of you and me.
It's a double entendre.
Yeah, I love it. I literally just got that right now. I hadn't.
It's genius. It's a great name. It says everything.
It is what it is, yeah.
In 2 words, it says everything. And I hadn't taken the time to look into it because I thought it was more involved than it actually is. It's actually just dumb simple. It's like a Jake level simplicity.
That's awesome.
That it's just another one of those, simply genius attention machines.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to say just another, but it is another.
It's an attention grabbing machine.
Yeah. And I wonder too, like, we could maybe even, and I might just sponsor this, like, from my own stack, is we could combine that with, like, a QR bid on the same day.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it would be awesome for people that are. My goal here, I think our goal should be to make winning these HZ missions as
Clanker's
rewarding
joining.
as possible.
Breaking, Clanker's joining Farcaster. Did you know about this?
What?
Yeah, I just got a notification.
Nah.
Farcaster acquires Clanker. Clanker is joining Farcaster.
Holy shit.
Straight up on the Farcaster. I got a notification on Farcaster.
Holy fuck. That's massive, bro. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
That's crazy, isn't it?
What the fuck? So I wonder. Yeah.
Sorry to cut the conversation. It's breaking news on the live stream right now.
That's live breaking news. That's unreal. So I'm assuming that Jack and team will continue working on Clanker just under Farcaster. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, right?
Because, I mean, Jack is Clanker, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, because I remember...
I guess what is in the technology stack of Clanker that would be of benefit to Farcaster? Maybe that's a dumb question.
Fee revenue.
But then, like, I guess my question is then are the things that Clanker does just gonna be folded into Farcaster, or is it another entity, or does like Clanker become like a feature of Farcaster? You know what I mean? That's kind of where my head's
not sure. Yeah, it's a good question because I mean technically it is already a feature of Farcaster. It's in-feed token launching. You know it. I don't know if that looks like a more like robust mini app that they release, or maybe nothing really changes.
Right. I mean, it does open up the appetite for people doing in-feed apps now. Right, like, oh, the possibility that you could get acquired by Farcaster now is like, I'm going to build an in-feed app right now. Like, what can I, because the other one is, what's that other one for betting? Banker?
Banker's the AI agent wallet. Oh, the betting is
Bracky, that one. Yeah, exactly. It's like it kind of like livens up cases for apps like that.
Totally. It's funny because I was just talking to Nishu about building like a voice message mini app, and in the back of my head I was like, okay, you wouldn't make any money off of this unless Farcaster themselves thought it was good enough resource to just buy it.
Right.
To keep it running.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't want to run this. There's no money in it. I'm shutting it down. Dan's like, fuck it, we'll just buy it.
Right.
To your point, there probably will be a a rush
A
of
gold rush.
people
Yeah.
building things for acquisition.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. Dude, I wonder what that deal was.
Right.
I wonder, because they've made, what, over 30 mil? I'm pretty sure. North of
Is
30.
that Farcaster money now? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's been bizarre. I'm not sure. I really want to know the
I mean,
details of that deal.
Farcaster, yeah, has got to get a piece of that. Because there's no way
big time.
Farcaster would pay 30 million for them. Or maybe they did.
Maybe. I doubt it.
That's a lot.
Maybe it's... there's nuance there that it's probably above my pay grade on how that went down.
You think Proxy got a cut?
No.
No.
I doubt it. I bet against that being the case.
Shit, Polymarket, son. Let's go on Polymarket.
Polymarket, baby. Damn, that's crazy. Good for Jack.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good for Jack. I think I remember him talking about how he kind of just, especially after Proxy, he kind of just like, I want to be a dev, you know? I just want to dev. And, you know, running Clanker is maybe something less desirable for him. So that's fucking cool.
That's good.
Which is hilarious months, what is it, 2 months, if that, after Rainbow made that big stink about acquiring Clanker.
Oh yeah, what
Remember
was that about actually? I didn't really get the full picture on that. There's something about
Rainbow
like
was
an
just
intent.
goofing. Rainbow offered to acquire Clanker, and I guess they were in talks, but Jack decided against it. And then after that, Rainbow took to the feed and said, you know, posted their proposal publicly anyways, even after Clanker turned them down. It was just a bizarre
For
scenario.
what intention was that? To just like start a beef or something?
Well, they also announced that they're going to be launching their Rainbow token shortly after. So I'm like, was this just I don't know, just bait? I don't know, but it pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, you guys are like airing out your laundry, and we like everybody loves the Clanker team, so it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Bizarre. But anyways, fucking crazy.
So
good
crazy.
for Clanker. The come up was insane.
I mean, it's good for them, honestly. It's so fucking dope.
That is so fucking dope. Oh shit! Now I'm all gassed up.
We were talking about what before this? Before the Martians attacked.
Betterment. We were talking about Betterment.
Yes. Oh yeah, the HIGHER.ZIP mission 2 and 3 coming out at the same time, or not, and yeah, like kind of what the staggering them, but also the audio being the first music post on Betterment.
Potentially, yeah. I'm not sure if that's the case, but maybe. I think staggering's better, especially if there are individuals that want to poke around with both missions, you know, like, so then you're not having to do both in the same, whatever, 2-week period or something like that.
Right.
You think, on that note, do you think two weeks seem to be a good length for that? Jeff, any other thoughts?
For missions in general, or just for this Betterment one?
For the first one, we did 2 weeks. I think that worked out pretty well. I don't know if...
Yeah.
I didn't get any messages saying I wish there was more time, and we ended up with, 25 submissions, so...
Yeah. I think it does feel like a good amount of time to me, honestly. Like a great amount of time.
I think it's plenty.
Yeah.
1 week would probably work, but I think 2 weeks just gives some people some leeway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, if work's busy the first week, or you're on a work trip or something like that.
Yeah, it gives you
Maybe
space
don't
for like
miss it.
ideas
Mm-hmm.
like 1 week, like even if you do have a lot of time, it's like 1 week for ideas, second week for executing, like I think it's a good, and like also not to, I guess, copy or take any lead on this, but like that's how long a sprint is in deving, right? It's just like, all right, we're going to take 2 weeks to like build this feature out or build this little or fix this thing
Mm,
or like,
sure.
I
Well,
feel like that's a good sprint, like a good,
okay.
and
We'll stick with that.
and if it worked well and no one said, I would say like the only indicator would be like if people said to us like, oh, that's not enough time, then I would say maybe increase it. But if no one has said that yet, then I
Agreed.
think that's what it is.
Okay, well, let's stick with that. I guess I suppose I wanted to dial in maybe some of the details while we're here.
Sure.
Um, as far as like, say we do this looping video, um, uh, what sort of requirements? I'm calling that higher forever. What sort of requirements do you think as far as looping? I mean, I'm hoping, as a side note, I'm hoping that if we truly incentivize winning as a great reward, that quality will, rise to the top no matter what.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to say the loop needs to be 15 seconds or 30 seconds, like making the requirements in such a way that pushes towards what we may think as quality. Like maybe it just being as open as possible allows for more creativity and people will still push themselves to win.
Yeah. And I think in this case, we don't have to add any other tools that before seemed necessary. Like for the first one being a 16:9 aspect ratio, like we don't have to, feels like we don't have to do that this time around because looping is the restriction.
Yeah, we don't necessarily know, and I guess we'll probably end up having that conversation every time, like
Yeah.
square, horizontal, vertical, whether it's vertical or horizontal is just the mobile experience is better or the
Yeah.
desktop experience is better. But yeah, maybe we don't. Maybe we leave that open ended as well. Just say fuck it, see what happens.
Yeah.
To be honest. Okay.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder because there is part of it. Because the thing is like we want to pull the audience low key,
Yeah.
and we don't necessarily have to pull them by publicizing a question. We can just pull them by not making a requirement now and seeing what results we get.
Yeah.
By not naming an aspect ratio at all,
That is, I like that perspective a lot, actually. We'll just generally see what the network, values, I suppose.
Yeah, if they give us all 16:9, then we can look into, okay, that means that 16:9 is great. If people give us a bunch of verticals 9:16, then we're like, okay, interesting,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of using that as like a temperature check of like,
yeah, as opposed to saying we know best.
right.
Because we may think we do sometimes, but we also don't.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. That's good. That's good for me.
And what was the idea behind, because I like the looping video, but then why are we thinking looping the audio? Is it just to have another looping,
Well,
like a pair, I guess?
that was the idea. And I guess it depends, right? Like maybe the audio doesn't need to loop. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe that's actually wrong.
Maybe.
Maybe it should just be a track.
Maybe, yeah. I wonder why? Because I think the looping video definitely has like a almost like a purpose to it, right? To
Yeah.
be able to loop on the stream no matter what music is playing. It's it's just looping. But the audio doesn't have that same effect, like an infinitely looping audio.
Yeah.
I wonder what yeah, unless the challenge is create an ambient sound, right? Then it's like, okay, yeah, we just want
Mm-hmm.
a sound to be playing.
True. Yeah. No, you're right. I guess looping doesn't make sense. Thanks for pointing that out. It doesn't need to loop at all, and it's probably better if it doesn't. I guess just thinking as a pair, it was like, oh yeah, it should loop. But no. Okay.
Because essentially
like that.
the like let's say the looping video is 15 seconds, but then someone gives us a song that's 3 minutes. Like that to me
Yeah.
could pair just
Yep,
fine.
that's
You know what
okay.
I mean?
Because the video loops, it doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. It just keeps going and the song just plays fully.
Yeah. And yeah,
And
yeah.
and then vice
I love it.
versa though, then it becomes ambient programming. Where it's like
True.
just like it's kind of like a video game menu where like the song just loops as long as we're
Yeah.
on the menu for. So if we're doing something like that where we're going to use like maybe potentially we're using this audio for something like that, then yes, it does make sense to loop it, I think.
Yep. And maybe that is a way to utilize like the HC1 submissions that are not looping videos that we could just stitch together and have the looping ambient audio, so we have kind of the best of both worlds
Oh,
in
interesting.
however we want to use them.
That could be
I
cool,
fuck
yeah.
with that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that could be cool. The other one that I was thinking as we were talking about this right now, not to again do the thing we always do, which is like blow out ideas. But last call we were talking about a higher zip like tune or like a tone, like a sound effect.
Been thinking about that as well, yeah.
I wonder if that could be a mission.
I think it should be. A fucking intro.
Just like a
Like
little
an
like
intro.
doo-doo or something, whatever, you know what I mean? Like we could make the challenge be like 2 seconds of audio. You know what I mean? Like a real crazy one like that.
That would be cool too. That's just like sound design at
Yeah.
its peak.
Yeah. And
I
I
like
think
that.
I think you can't even AI that right now. You'd have to like genuinely record
Yeah.
a noise or sound and like edit it or something.
Which would be sick. I was nerding out a few months ago, like printing out a bunch of shit, and I was just listening to the printer,
That'd
and I
be
was like,
sick.
all right, I recorded it and sent it to Chic Bangs. I was like, what do you got? But that is fun, like just a sound,
Yeah.
creating something compelling out of just something so simple. That could be a fun challenge. I love
I mean,
that.
that could also be like HZ4 or something where like the challenge is to create like a 2 second, like what are those things like after a Nickelodeon show where like and then it's like
Da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, and that's like a 2 second video with sound effects.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be its own higher zip thing. Actually,
I think it should be. I'm writing that down. I love that. And I was also thinking about too
damn.
like an intro, like an actual intro, like and you listen to a podcast or whatever. They
Yeah.
all have either at least a song, like
Yeah.
a little jingle, maybe
Yeah.
5-10 seconds. But obviously, like YouTube shows, they have visuals accompanying them.
Right.
So that would be a fun one too. Like we could put that at the beginning of
jingle.
all the YouTube episodes.
That'd be sick.
That I want to fuck around making one of those.
I
That
know,
sounds
right?
fun.
That sounds so fun.
Okay, I'm writing that down. HC4 as the 2-second jingle. not jingle. What was the word? Soundbite, maybe.
Soundbite. There's a name for that, but I just don't know. It's like after the credits, like it's not a bump. It's something else.
I'll just
Shit.
put credits for now.
Yeah. Maybe post credit. Is that what it is? Maybe.
Soundbite, jingle, post credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
Love
other
it.
one would be the intro jingle. So we're looking for jingles for both, basically.
We're jingling, baby.
We're jingling.
Is that something we could play, like, when you start the stream?
Yeah, absolutely. If we have it packaged as like MP4, totally, I could just trigger it and then right after, it's us.
Yeah. Because what's cool about it is, like, we'd get the variety between all of the submissions from HZ1 was really cool.
Yeah.
So, like, the vibes were all different in a fun way. So we have, all of this. I guess you get to choose your vibe based on the submissions, and that's really fun.
Right.
Like, looking through that, and once we get into actually using them and, pushing them on our site and Zora, whatever, that process sounds super exciting.
Yeah. I like what popped into my head as you were saying that is like I like how it's collaborative. Like we are essentially right now we're in like a content gathering phase.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more we get this content, the more that we can create newer content that incorporates the older content, or quote unquote older.
Yep.
So it feels like it feels very collaborative with the audience, essentially.
Totally does. And that is something too that, well, we should touch on that on this now that we're on the like catalog library conversation, is having a simple method for individuals to share the creations with us. MP3, MP4.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a link on the website that takes you to a Dropbox or
Yeah.
Or, I mean, for now, I can just be reaching out to folks, receiving via email or whatever, but it would be really nice if there was like an upload. Like if you could go to HIGHER.ZIP and upload your shit right on the site.
Yeah, that'd be sick, honestly. I would love that. And honestly, for 2 of my clients, I'm building dashboards right now, like things like that. And so my mind is all over dashboards right now for some reason. I mean, that's the reason, not for some reason. That's literally the reason. So I'm totally down with that. And I think that even as we were talking about the collaborative aspect, my mind started to go there a little bit, like, because not only that, I think that as HIGHER.ZIP grows, we are going to need an admin panel for ourselves to like manage a stream schedule, like create the schedule and do things like that, obviously, as the product grows. And I see this as part of that as well, almost, right? It's like one kind of, we're building almost like a media empire app on the back end for us. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's just for us, not to mention what that will manifest as for like the audience.
Totally. It also makes me think about, on like the aimhigher.net site, like put like a collage of a bunch of memes and artwork. If they're submitting their mission creation on the HIGHER.ZIP site, uploading basically, it would be cool to have like maybe some sort of database that's public that can just be browsed
of media
of every submission, whatever it is, but it's just a log. It's a library, and it may as well be public if possible.
Yeah, I'm writing this down because I think this is dope. I would just have to touch base with Cameron on like the login stuff, because that I think would be a major component of it, right? It's like even having access to the library with a certain token balance would be wild, right? Like,
That's a good point.
but even in that sense, is like this dashboard would have to be able to differentiate. What's up, man? Would have to be able to differentiate like us four or whoever's in the squad from just like a regular, like a end user that's just looking to upload, right? I think like the UI would like not be different, but like some things would be like taped off and or not, you know?
Yeah, and you well, not I don't want to say you just, but obviously the wallet login, kind of solves that logistically, not from the UI UX side. Obviously, would be more difficult, but
Yeah, it'd be by wallet identifiers. So yeah, that's the part I have to talk to Cam about is like how are these like where do we determine the list of guardians, right? Is it just literally checking the the permapool contract,
the
right? Like
contract, yeah,
how
right.
much is it? I wonder how much that would be my assumption as well, but I just wonder how much of that is actually true and if that's how it actually works.
That's a good question. To be honest,
Because
it seems
if it
simple,
is
but
that, then boom, it's pretty much made. We just have to make the UI now, you know?
which is cool, and it almost starts to function like a asset library.
Exactly.
And maybe that being public for view, and it's gated in like download.
Downloads.
Like if you hold the staking NFT, for example, and you can download and use any of these video, audio. Obviously, it would have to be like CC0 from the creators themselves, and maybe we need to kind of have a conversation around that.
Yeah. And someone has said that already on Farcaster, so it's that aspect of it has been in the back of my mind too, is like the CCO or like the copyright aspect of it, where someone was asking about like how can we make it easier for someone to like remix or not remix, or to even know whether you can remix a piece, right? Because if someone uses something that's not remixable to make it into a higher asset, like it's fine that they made that higher asset, but then it's possible that no one can remix that higher asset now because it's part of like Cartoon Network or something, you know?
Good point. I hadn't thought about it that way. The way I was thinking about it was from just strictly the perspective of whoever created the content. That could be handled if they're uploading it on the site. There's a checkbox like, can anybody use this?
Should do that. We should do that.
Only view, not remix. And then it yada yada.
Yeah.
Give me 2 minutes. My dog's freaking out.
Yeah. Chill
Sorry.
out, doggo. Yeah, it seems like this thing covers both aspects. Is like showing a library of media that we've received from the HZ challenges, as well as possibly being a tool for mitigating or creating a process around the remixing CCO or copyrighted content, essentially.
Yeah. The only things that were coming to mind were like it'd be cool to, I don't know how websites usually handle like upload of files, but I think that would be better than someone uploading files and then one of us having to take those files and put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because then that's an attack vector as well. If someone like puts something in a file that like opens onto the computer and steals all your NFTs.
Shit, compromised, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. I've been watching this stream on HIGHER.ZIP, and the picture-in-picture shit it's game changing because I can like whip up my train tickets as I'm like listening to you guys. It's so cool.
That's sick. That's awesome to hear. Hell yeah.
And also, I in real time I watched you react to the Clanker news. That was fun.
Hell yeah. we
Does
ever?
that mean Farcaster technically has a token now? Because they've never had a token before, but now they own something that has a token.
Yeah, it's in their portfolio at least for sure.
So that, let's see what happened. What's the price action on that? 24 hour, 72%. It's up 72%. That's one crazy candle. My God. Look, from 24, 25 mil to 43. Oh, and the buys are just flying in, boys.
Are
Good
they?
job, Clanker.
Nice.
Let's fucking go. Man, volume 3.8 mil. Those bastards. That's amazing.
Damn, that's so cool. Oh yeah. This fucking Dan Romero put a tweet out or cast out.
Dude, that's so beautiful to see that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can I
That's
pair my
fucking
phone on
beautiful.
my screen? Is that iPhone mirroring?
So what's up, John? Sorry.
No much. I've just told Brian I was watching the stream on Higher.ZIP. I started watching on YouTube, but then I can't picture in picture from my YouTube app. So I just went over to Higher.ZIP on Safari on the phone and could picture in picture. So I was like whipping up train tickets as I was listening to you guys chat higher. And then I was saying I heard you guys react to the Clank news in real time.
I love it. That's so excellent that we have better functionality than YouTube for you.
Yeah.
It was better for you to be on our site. That's so fucking cool. And once we get the base trenches in there, man, that's gonna be legendary.
Next level,
Wow.
honestly. So the
That's
Farcaster.
What else was on the agenda to talk about? Because like I don't want to derail this.
No, it's okay. Well, the top one was the staking conversation, but I kind of held off on that until you got here because I know you have more developed thoughts on that than we do.
Well, yeah, I guess the staking thing for me is like, do you make it? I think in my mind at the moment, I'm like, let's just make it exclusive because price is relatively low, so it's accessible even if we make it exclusive in a way. Still let anyone stake, but then, yeah, basically have the NFT be less accessible. But then the question is also like what comes along with that. And I think one side of it is like this maybe chat that can form from it. I think one of the things I was thinking about today is that Higher is fragmented into lots of chats.
Yeah.
And maybe this could be a moment where we say, look, this X number of Higher is pretty big, and you've either got skin in the game or you haven't. I'm only GMing in here now. So if you want to GM back, see you in there. And that it's kind of has to be like almost a cultural behavioral thing because there are so many of these chats going on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that too in that regard. I like your more positive perspective on it. It could go that way, which would be more beneficial, or it could just be it could turn into the eighth chat that is even more fragmenting, not sure. It's worth doing, I feel like. But I also was thinking that the NFT could be tied more heavily to our partner program as well. Obviously, you're talking about like discounts and shit off merch, which is the more obvious partner programs, using Higher Market as an example. But down the road, if any other projects or products pop up, the gate could just be that NFT for the discount, and you still want it to feel meaningful, right? Like staking whatever $1,500 to receive $5 off of a sticker pack, like maybe maybe that's cool. It maybe it's not, some sort of real tangible value that's not just like free money. That there needs to be, I feel like some unpacking there, and I think that probably just happens throughout us actually practicing what this partner program actually is.
Yeah. So you're imagining like, so say it's like, I don't know, say it's 5 million for 5 million higher for one of these memberships, then people stake that amount higher, and then once it's staked, we're saying, okay, now we're willing to, put up some higher to incentivize people to your thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and also building something around which we had talked about using like the donation NFTs as a signal and something that somebody could build their project around using that data for those individuals. The NFT HB6 only goes to the donors. Instead of using that, you would use this staking pass, I suppose.
Yeah, and that also is interesting because like I was speaking to Genuine Jack because I was kind of thinking, well, the discounts thing makes the most sense to me. It's like the easiest to implement almost because Slice already has this like NFT gated stuff, NFT discount stuff. So the 3 tiers, I was thinking one could be like the discount on the price, another's like we'll give it to you at cost, and the next tier is kind of like, well, we could give it to you for free. They're like the 3 ways you could interact with the NFT owners, I guess. And I was asking Genuine Jack about this, like what amount of hire do you think? What amount of hire sounds good to you? But his response was something like, well, why would I use this NFT? Like, what's the point in it for me?
Mhm.
Like, what's in it? What's upside for higher market or any project
Right.
giveaway things or products to people who own these NFTs? And if the projects aren't earning from the stake, but why would they be expected to reward these stakers? Which are
Totally.
like good questions. And I think
Great.
it's a little bit difficult to see why or how these things are connected. I guess the most obvious one to me is like, okay, if you're going to offer a discount to just a higher holder, and it's like some sick hoodie, somebody can just buy 100k higher and then sell 100k higher as soon as they've got the discount, and then there's no like real buying. Maybe that's kind of good for higher market, but it maybe isn't good for higher overall. And so the way I'm thinking about it would be like, if any project wants to align with the long term of higher, then these people who are staking are basically making their belief real by like staking it on chain versus someone who's just holding it in their wallet and can kind of, as Cam's been saying, just wait for the day that they can sell the next day. The staking you still can sell, but the idea is that there's some additional intention, and so there's some friction as well.
Yeah, it's a valuable question from Jack because we would want it to look more like we're supporting him than he's supporting the broader network. And ideally, both, to your point, ideally both of those things work hand in hand in a positive some way, but it is difficult to consider giving that product away for free to probably the individuals that are the only ones that were going to buy it in the first place, those that are most invested to be staked are probably the ones that are most invested to spend money at the market. So there's a little hiccup there. I am wondering if the stake, would you ever mix the staking and the permapool like not the perma pool itself, but a subsidiary pool, secondary pool. So when you're staking, you're also receiving rewards from pool fees. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud right now.
I think there is a future where that is a thing. I think that is definitely potentially a thing that happens. I think for it to be meaningful, there needs to be more volume, and also kind of like we'd have to work around the wording of that, just so it feels like, okay, there's something going on here that is more than just a yield product. But there's definitely something there, I think. I think the coolest part of I think it's the staking thing is another risk, Bailey. We're basically saying to a whole community, we're saying, look, you just holding higher isn't enough. Like that isn't gonna make this into something that works longer term, and that's kind of the truth. What we're kind of proposing by proposing the staking contract is we're proposing, look, if you are here for the long haul, show us that you're here for the long haul. This is hopefully going to give all the builders in the network kind of some extra belief that Higher is going to be around in the future. And they're kind of hopefully going to be somewhat grateful to the fact that you're somewhat propping up the price, which in effect is how people come to stumble upon projects in this ecosystem, is if the price holds up. So if you're basically rewarding the people who are propping up the financial reflection of the brand that you hope to be building on, would be kind of the way to pitch it to the projects that are building. But I also recognize, like, if a project can get it's the same thing as why would a project donate to the perma pool? If a project can sell Higher merch without giving any revenues to the perma pool and giving no discounts to anyone, then why wouldn't they do that? Well, the only reason they do that is just kind of like out of some kind of goodwill towards like the large ecosystem. So it's only really works for people who have goodwill towards like Higher as like some kind of network of people who want to go higher together. And that's kind of why you could sell merch at the top when Higher was like at 10 cents and nobody gave a fuck if you were putting money back into the token, because they didn't care. It was like, yeah, I want to own something that I can remember I made money on this thing. Whereas now we're kind of like shift into a phase of like, okay, yes, speculation, hype, and dumps will come and go. You can kind of expect that if Higher survives into the long term, you can expect cycles of upward and downward thing. But what can we build in the long term that's going to sustain? And the idea would be staking, and these memberships would build a group of people who are like an actual network that could be in one group chat and say, we know for sure that everybody here has some proof of belief, and if one of us is going to exit, others are going to benefit from their exit who stay. And the perma pool exists to kind of deepen the amount of realizable value for people who want to kind of maybe accumulate Higher for their products and services. So it's kind of like it's a shift away from maybe previous thinking into a different thing.
That is pretty fascinating, honestly. It's like economics on a crazy level here. Consumer economics, like.
Yeah, and very human level economics as well.
Like behavioral, yeah.
Like, how does a currency become a currency? Right. Basically, you've got to get Joe to accept your shells as debt for the fact that you gave him 3 apples. And you got, in some point in time, someone else has got to say, yeah, those shells are worth 3 apples.
Right.
So like, we're just creating a network of people who are like, yeah, Higher is worth something. And how do you make Higher worth something? Well, perma pool is locking value in permanently, which is kind of crazy. But why would people lock it in then permanently? Because the fees are going towards some people who are building on their behalf. that's kind of why I've always framed HIGHER.ZIP as a public goods thing, and that's why I kind of like the view of HIGHER.ZIP as like a streaming network that kind of is curated in a way that kind of has a positive impact for the network at the very least. It is, you know, it's a crystallization of potential into a new kind of like form. I don't know if I'm speaking out my arsehole now, but that's why I see it.
Crystallization is a beautiful word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what I fully understand what you're talking about, by the way. And it seems like no harm to launch a staking contract. If nobody stakes, whatever.
Right.
If a lot of people stake, great. I think it does probably make more sense for us to be rewarding stakers as opposed to other projects, at least initially, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that falls back into that bucket of the NFT from staking is basically the foundation of the partner program in a way that no, you don't get something free from Jack, you get reimbursed from HIGHER.ZIP in some way or another. Because otherwise, I don't think we can pursue any approach that decreases incentive for other builders. I want to think that we could, but I don't know if that's realistic currently.
Yeah, I think in a way you have to kind of, it is very relational, cultural kind of thing. It's like in a perfect world, in my like ideal world, everybody's on board, everybody is building a business, everybody is buying from the only businesses that are diverting revenue back to the perm pool and also giving perks to people who are staked, which in theory would deepen the liquidity of HIGHER, cause HIGHER price to go up, and in theory lots of people would then want to stake their HIGHER, more demand for HIGHER would go up. This is all like ideal. It's just whether like you can't make people do things, which is kind of like okay, we put the perm pool out there, donate if you want, donate if you don't, but like we're going to be doing our thing anyway. Similar thing with the staking contract. Here's the staking contract. It's going to be pumping out these NFTs. Businesses, if you'd like to reward NFT holders, you can. Holders, if you'd like to stake, this is kind of what we're going to be offering in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here. I think it's worth. Why not, right? The logistics of what happens after. Maybe we just figure that out as we go, like everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that we just put another Lego brick out there, and we're like, all right, what's this do?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. So it's gonna do something. We don't know actually how people will respond. That people made shit for HZ001. That shit's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things we do need to consider is like what amount of HIGHER is worth an NFT membership. I think if you go low, you can get a lot of people in, but you kind of dilute the strength of the signal that you're getting from the person. And in theory, you know, people are less worried about losing 20% 50K HIGHER than they are losing 20% of $1 million HIGHER. So yeah, that's a thing. In my mind, I'm at this million number just because I like saying million.
Same.
And it's like, okay, if you're going to throw $1 million higher at this thing, you're going to be active in that chat because you've thrown $1 million higher at this thing. And say at the moment $1 million higher is what, $2,000. Then say we reach all-time highs again, that's $100,000. And even if you're losing like 10% because of whatever penalties, you're still made like $88,000. This is not financial advice; this is all theoretical. But like, you know, it's not the worst situation if you've actually stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, to that point, $1 million seems right. 50K is too low. 5 million is too high. I feel like $1 million's a lot, but I don't think it's too much.
I was thinking like I'm the target market because I don't have $1 million higher in like I have like 700K across 2 wallets, and it's an incentive for me to like get more basically, which is kind of part of what staking hopefully does. But in another sense, there's no point staking if you're not getting anything out of it. So one thing it could be is like if you stake, then you can stream. That could be one thing that we have.
Interesting.
But then we lose a bit of curation at the same time.
It's about $2,000, little $1,900.
$1,900. That's not chump change.
Roughly, yeah.
Even in crypto, that's not small. I mean, there was one way we could approach it as far, I don't know how this works at the contract level, but you could start small and increase it over time.
Could we do that?
I don't know.
Like would that work on the contract level, I suppose? I feel like
that's what I don't know. But theoretically, say it does work at the contract level.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you know, you gauge engagement or interest at 200K higher. That's great. 100 people staked. You know, is that good? Is 100 people what you want? Do you want more or less? Ideally, you want more higher being staked. But do you want more people? Does more people mean more higher, or was less people?
So you could have a number of slots.
Yeah.
You could have like 100 slots, and then the top 100 stakers get the NFTs.
How would the people who staked at a lower price feel about, or I guess the people who staked at it? Yeah, I guess is there a perceived kind of like notion to being like, well, I staked $2,000 and you only have to stake 200 and we're getting the same amount of rewards. Is there a competitive nature to that, or does that not matter?
I mean, people do love leaderboards. That's a thing, but who cares? Or to your point, maybe the negative aspect of that would be, I was gonna stake 2,000, but I only need to stake 200. You know, I suppose it could go either way.
It would be interesting to do a thing that the DMV in the US does, the identity points.
Go on.
You know what I'm saying? When you go to like renew your license or something, they ask for like 7 points of identification, and like a credit card bill is like 2 points, a passport is like 3 points, you know, birth certificate is so you have to like accumulate all these like proof of identification things, and depending on what you need to be doing at the, like, I think for like the new Real ID thing, it's like 14 points, but then like just to renew a passport, it's like 7 points. So like that just depends on like how many documents you have to come to the DMV with. I'm probably butchering the explanation, but that's the gist of it.
That makes sense.
Could we do that for staking?
In what way? Like,
if you own at least one HB, if you own a million higher, And each of those, you know what I mean? Like each of those require you to stake less higher, essentially. Like if you have an HB, then maybe it's an HB and 500,000 higher. If you don't have an HB, then a million higher. You know, like, and we create basically a rubric of staking in that way.
And then the next HB drops, and if that next HB is now the requirement to keep your NFT.
It gamifies it gamifies it a little bit, you know, like, and then it also can help with, I think, what we talked about before, which was the tiered benefits, like having like a platinum series, a gold series, and a silver. You know what I mean? Like, and each of those tiers get different results. They're all stakers, but like they get different benefits based on the tier.
So the silver could be 200K higher,
Right.
lower than what we're thinking, but gold is 500K, and then HB, and platinum is a million higher, and whatever that is.
Right.
3 HBs and the cheeks higher together.
Yeah.
Discography or whatever.
Yeah, or you have to have like at least 4 episodes of Higher FM, you know, like something like that, you know. Like we could create a whole thing around that, honestly. I just don't know how
It's intriguing.
how you would stake a Higher Beast or a Higher FM episode. You know what I mean? Like what, I don't know what the technicalities around that, but feels interesting.
You can stake NFTs, and for sure.
You can
do that. Yeah.
So.
This is kind of crazy. I think I think it really works actually in terms of like, but it's its own. It honestly feels like its own project. Like you'd kind of want to stand up the staking contract on its own and be like, all right, this just exists. You can stake however much you want in it, and then there'd be like this other points contract that looks at the staking contract and says, oh, look, this person staked 200,000.
Right.
This person staked 500,000. This person staked 1 million. And then they get that number of points on that contract. Because it's kind of cool to think you could mix and match. It's like if you own a HB from every season,
right.
And 250K higher, you're at like 10 points. But you could have HBs from 2 seasons and 1 million higher and have more points. Or someone could have all of the HBs and only 100K higher staked, and all the HBs would be higher than the 100K higher staked. There'd be like different ways to like get in to boost your points in a way.
Yeah. If you've chatted in base trenches, like boom, you know, like that's another. Yeah, I mean, like that would be the way then.
Mm-hmm.
Donated over X amount to Permapool.
Right.
And
the only thing it does different from the
go.
The only thing it does different from the staking thing that I was imagining the staking thing would be like a one and done. So you stick it up 1 million higher. Once you got it, you get the NFT from that. Which you could still do and incorporate into this, by the way. The one thing this does, it makes whoever stands it up, the government, in the same way the DMV is set up by the thing. They decide what's worth what number of points. Which is another thing. But maybe there's a system. Maybe this is something you grow into where you're like, if you're an NFT holder of this first 1 million stake thing, then together we decide what things are worth. That could be a way of doing it. I don't know, but because it's almost like we're trying to start again. We're trying to say, great, you were here for the first round where all you had to do was hold higher and post memes. Now we're asking you, when you heard them talk about this becoming a worldwide brand, were you serious? If you are, we're going to try it. Come stake some higher and get involved. So that in that sense, it wouldn't be too bad then to ask that class of 2025, the re-beginning, to make decisions about how much owning a whole HB set is worth. How much is this worth? But that's a long process and almost a different project. But not to shoot it down, because I think actually this sounds a lot like things people have already been talking about over a long period of time. So I think this would be adopted,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's cool as well. It's fun to think of like a progress bar on the screen, and you can like see what you've staked and how many points you have. It'd be wild.
It could be wild. To your point about it maybe being two projects, like the broader, maybe more community-based DMV angle, it could almost just end at being a leaderboard. I feel like,
Yeah.
it doesn't. You have X amount staked on this contract, which is unrelated to this project, but we're counting that. Your wallet has this, and it's just a leaderboard. And maybe that's enough. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And fun. I don't know. I'd love to see that.
Do you, I guess, not to switch contexts too much, but do you see it as like almost a separate brand than HIGHER.ZIP? Or, yeah, like a separate entity almost? And then I maybe like
Yeah.
Higher is the government. We are the New York Times. HIGHER.ZIP is like New York Times, but then like the staking thing is like the DMV.
Maybe.
Or like American Express. You know what I mean? Like what what levels?
Yeah, I think I would see how HIGHER.ZIP is like, HIGHER.ZIP's like the media, whatever you, from, I don't know what the two ends of the spectrum are, and in the US, like CNBC to Fox News, whatever it is.
Yeah.
CNN, all of that in one. And then I almost see like the staking contract would be kind of like some kind of like occult society is the way I imagine it. Like, it's kind of like not everybody's. I'm not expecting everyone to put 1 million higher up. It's not possible for everyone to put 1 million higher. But if you're in it, then you've got some massive leaderboard points boost, and you have access to when it was only a 2 million market cap, and they could afford to just throw a couple K at it, and I've managed to, somehow hold that position all the way through, because they've just kind of been riding the wave of whatever else has been happening in the ecosystem and haven't had to sell it all.
Mm-hmm.
And then this DMV, we could even make it like you could make it a DMV-esque experience.
Right.
On
right. That's literally what I've been thinking this whole time. Hell yeah.
I saw you start smiling, Brian. I was wondering what you were thinking.
That's what it was. I was literally like, "Yo, this could be so cool." The other thing I was thinking about in parallel was, I don't know if you've ever seen or read V for Vendetta. They call the like governmental umbrellas or like the industries that help this like fascist government operate. They call them what was it? The mouth is like the propaganda division. It's like the news and all that. The finger is like the police. The eye is like the surveillance system. So each of these departments have like what it is. I guess for HIGHER.ZIP would be like the mouth, right? And then like what would this like staking thing be? And I guess that's where I was kind of thinking about the branding aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Staking would then feel like the heart to me, to be honest. Like it's if your heart's in it and you want HIGHER to be something that exists for the long term. I'm not sure if it's the heart of a fascist regime, but it's
right. Yeah, we're not.
But it feels like, all right, this is some real investment like not in like a investment to get money, but like a energetic investment. If you've dropped $2,000 into this thing because you want access to the other people who have dropped $2,000 into this thing,
Right.
Plus some of those people who have dropped $2,000 into this thing are saying, "Fuck it, I'm going to send all of you guys free X because I know you guys you're in it." then the DMV is like, I almost kind of see that as like it's either the eyes or it's the I don't know, like the biceps is like flexing on people. Like I don't know what it is, but it's something there.
Yeah, it's flexing for sure. It's like when Ash Ketchum opens his thing, is like all the badges.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, there's a good meme in there. I love it. Well, why not? Let's build a fucking staking contract.
Yeah. So then I guess with the staking
million.
contract, there's a staking contract, but then there's another contract that kind of determines the value and what and how much you can stake things for. Did I misunderstand that?
Yeah, I
So-
think the staking comes first, right? In this scenario, that just exists, and then whatever the DMV idea is some sort of third thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
The main thing with the staking, you could even do it where it's just a staking contract and there's just time correlated penalties for withdrawals. You wouldn't even have any NFTs associated to it. It's just like if your money's in there and it's been in there for a week and you try and you're going to withdraw, you only get 50% of your money back. But if it's been in there for 2 weeks, you get 10%, you get 90% of your money back. It's like, and the fee penalty is distributed proportionally to everybody else who staked. So if you've like been a baller and thrown like 30 million higher in there, you're going to get much more than someone who's staked only like 1,000 higher from the people who are leaving earlier. And then you could stand up once and say, okay, there's just one NFT associated with this, a million higher. Or you could have separate contracts. I actually need to talk to Cam about this, but in my mind, you can have separate contracts that reference the staking contract and say, oh, look, I can see all these addresses have staked over 500K higher. I'm going to send this soulbound NFT to these addresses. And when their balance staked goes below 500,000 higher, then the NFT is withdrawn back into that other contract.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. It is worth noting that I think Rev with commit kind of already did more or less this without the NFT involved, and I think the penalty was fairly low because you committed. I don't
10K.
know. It was a 10K. 10K higher is the penalty, I suppose, which at this point is just negligible. I don't 10K higher is like $1. I don't know what that is. It's not much of a penalty, I suppose. But yeah, so you wouldn't do it through commit, would you? It maybe doesn't have.
You haven't got the same way to be as precise and have like the granular penalties changing over time, I think. Which hopefully this staking contract could have baked in a way that, you know, that one, like with the first reason to think about it, why would you want to hold higher? But exactly, it's like the main thing. And so that's why why it's really a cultural thing. Like the only reason to hold higher is kind of cultural. At this point, like how do you, obviously there's the idea that value could accrue to the network through the token. But there's got to be some reason to hold the token before this, otherwise we might as well all hold, you know, I don't know, buttcoin, fartcoin, whatever it is.
Probably make more money on fartcoin in the last 9 months.
Yeah. Probably. There is something interesting about higher, but that is like I do think it is. My view is that it could be a the vision they set out at the beginning, which is like this is a brand that everybody could own together, and is kind of what you make it. that makes a lot of sense to me as something that could be possible. It's just uncharted territory, and there's no clear path to it happening. And ultimately, kind of like Bitcoin, it just relies on massive, or like at least like high energy investment commitment from like a network of people. Bitcoin isn't worth anything unless people want to own Bitcoin. Kind of in that similar vein.
Totally. It is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose as far as actionable, we gotta get Big Dog Compreni on the horn.
True.
Yeah.
Get his thoughts on that. I know he was reluctant about the withdrawal penalty, but
I was thinking today we could combine the things. Like he was talking about, the longer you hold, the more the next tier. You have some minimum threshold, and then once you've passed that threshold, the next tier is unlocked when you've held for, or you've been staked for X amount of time, which is interesting. I just haven't given it enough thought. I just kind of flashed into my mind today.
it's very interesting. I like that idea as well. It reminds me of like the channel streaks that used to exist on Farcaster, which may
Mhm.
still exist, I'm not sure, but it is adding that level of I've been around, you know, I've been here, which is cool,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like buy your way into a different society.
Right.
Maybe once you've staked, you know, a lower amount for X amount of time, you're bumped up to the whatever. I don't know, but that is interesting.
Yeah, and if not part of like the staking thing directly, could be part of the DMV points thing for sure. Like if you've held over X amount of time,
Right.
that should be worth something.
If you have a streak, a channel streak on higher channel, could we access that data? That'd be wild.
Yeah, I'm
Does it
pretty
still
sure.
exist even?
I've heard both things. I don't know if it's visible in the UI, but
It's
I
not.
believe it's still tracked. Agrimony and Mad Logic would be good lads to inquire because they're the streak masters.
Okay.
Um,
Cool, man.
well,
That's really cool. I like where this is
I
going.
yeah, that's a fucking awesome idea. It's worth doing. I think regardless of reception, just try it.
Right.
Doesn't seem like it's like the craziest lift. As a guy that will not be doing that work, it seems so easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk to Cam, see what he says, and like he said, I think he's working on something else that's similar. So maybe there's a lot of crossover to where it's not breaking his back.
And I think a lot of the lift in terms of like novelty could be handled by like how we brand it, how we come out, like how do we release a thing like this, you know? I'm not saying it necessarily has to be the DMV idea, but like somewhere to kind of make it like a cool thing that people can interact with, you know?
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Which touches back to what you've been saying, John, about building things out in a way that is fully fleshed out and compelling, and also which makes me think of what we just discussed about the library of
Yeah.
HD submissions, so things like that maybe are just unique enough to be more compelling and intriguing, and I think that goes a long way. Separating on that note via the stream and HZ missions, anything like we talked about last time, anything we can do to separate ourselves from like being a streaming network, streaming platform like YouTube and Zora, anything we can do that's more unique, that's more higher, that's more community focused, it's just a win. I feel like
Yeah, for sure.
we lose if we don't focus on showcasing community and catering in those ways, I think.
I agree.
I don't have anything else on my list.
Same.
Let me double check. We talked through, yeah. The only last thing here, and I think, we touched on it slightly, but with differentiation between permapool and HIGHER.ZIP, I don't know, John, did you have any further thoughts on that you wanted to discuss, or just keeping that back in a top of mind as we kind of move through this? I know you just mentioned that last week and we didn't really unpack anything, so I didn't know if.
Yeah, I think, there's one way to look at this could be, we look at HIGHER.ZIP as like a creative studio, and Permapool was one of its first products, kind of like TokenWorks launched Punk Strategy. One of the first things HIGHER.ZIP did was just pop down this permanent liquidity pool and said, anyone can add to it. And we have had a front end on the HIGHER.ZIP website for a little while, but then we gave its own front end eventually, because and then like the DMV thing is like another website and thing we stood up, and this thing was another thing that we stood up. Like that could be one way to go about it. I think when I initially brought it up, I was thinking in terms of if someone was to use a Cartoon Network video in their bumper that they submitted, and we were streaming it on the website, and we also had this donate button at the same time, those two things being concurrent on the website, can look to a certain person like we're doing that on purpose. The way I'd argue is that Permapool is separate. It's a different thing entirely, and we're not making exact revenue from that. But also maybe it's just worth saying Permapool.xyz is this, and maybe we do even make that into Cam. I know Cam at the beginning was thinking we should make it into like a product that other communities could spin up,
right?
So maybe that's the eventual direction.
I'm gonna put that, yes. Basically, point being is you don't want it to look like we are profiting if people are stealing copyrighted media,
and we're using it,
to generate.
Like there are YouTube channels that do use copyrighted music all the time, but they just can't monetize, and like I think that's so cool in a way. But maybe they point people to Patreon underneath or something.
That's what I've usually seen.
There's a little thing that they do, but
I see that as well. Yeah, it is cool.
It is a little punk. I like it.
Punk as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a basement show sort of vibe.
Yeah, public access network shit.
$10 at the door.
It means we don't have to like restrict what we ask people for on AZs either. Like if we make it, you only have to do, it has to be original content, it has to be CCO. It's different from it's just a HIGHER.ZIP plays whatever it wants, and that's kind of just how it goes. But they don't make any money off that stream.
Right.
It's just kind of like maybe it gets a little bit different if the chat has some kind of like go to the Permapool payment in it, but I don't think we'd do that. Maybe we'd be able to keep it enclosed within the chat, unless donations in the Permapool. We would maybe have to work it out properly. Like maybe on the Permapool website there'd be some kind of like donations thing, and then that would pop up elsewhere. Or I'm not 100% sure, but we'd have to think through it.
That's compelling. We had talked about like a buy.
Oh shit! Did his laptop die?
Probably.
Damn! I want to know what we talked about.
The DMV idea is so cool, Brian. I can imagine it's so crazy how people were raising like millions of dollars off like NFT mints that just had some kind of experience that you had before you pressed the mint button.
Yeah.
It was like you went through like some tunnel, you had to click a few buttons to like go through like a curtain or something, and then suddenly you're paying like $300 for like 12 pixels.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like what's that called? Pool suite, where they did like customize the NFT and then like you just minted it, or customize the. It was like a portrait of it as like a human, right? Yeah.
I know that the White Rabbit and the thing I was talking about where they directed a whole film, they sold $1 million worth of NFTs where they just kind of had like it was actually a really well made anime video, and you had to pick between two doors, and one door went to like some scene that did nothing, and then the other door led to basically a mint button, and you mint, and they raised $1 million. A Wizard NFT, which was the first one I did, they had like a tower appeared from the bottom of your screen into the thing, and then you clicked mint, and when you clicked mint, it like some beams like flew out the top of the tower like this for a little bit, and then when the beams disappeared, your like pixel wizard was there, and they sold out like millions of dollars. And it was just because of the novelty of like,
Right.
oh shit, you're basically buying a JPEG, but they've got this experience that delivers the JPEG to you that feels like interesting.
It's worth it.
Yeah. And this, I mean, the phase of crypto that we're in now, obviously, is a little bit different than selling a load of NFTs and promising something else. We're kind of being more transparent with, we don't know what these NFTs are for, but why not make it a cool experience as well?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And then you were saying something before you got cut off there, Sean. I think you were saying something.
Yeah.
I think you might be breaking up for me at least. Are you getting that?
Maybe. No, I'm not. Maybe try no video.
No.
It sounds good for now, but the video is a little.
Okay, I turn the video off. You good?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about the trenches chat. Earlier we mentioned maybe there's like the buy button for buying higher, and it shows in the chat. And I think one sort of incentive, obviously it's cool if people donate to the permapool. That's great. We want to incentivize that. But also, it is also a little punk to just incentivize people buying and holding higher themselves, So it's like we put this on in order for people to buy into the token, and we don't really receive anything at face value other than there's more volume to the token, which in turn, generates more fees, etc., which maybe feels a little bit more positive sum than somebody directly donating to the pool. I feel like that sort of individual is highly invested, but if we can just drive enough traffic into this stream, into this chat, where you can just simply buy higher with one click, you're already logged in, and that's kind of a fun thing, and then it broadcasts it in the chat or whatever. I feel like you're most of the way there with that.
Right.
I agree with that. Yeah. So I think maybe the perma pool becomes like an abstracted thing that we kind of interface with partners through more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. I think that kind of makes sense, because it may be, maybe I'm wrong in thinking this way, but it does seem slightly far-fetched to assume that there will be a lot of individuals that just want to donate. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems a lot simpler in many ways to convince somebody to buy higher as an investment as opposed to convince somebody to just give away their money to the pool. Obviously, the mega chads that have already donated they're highly invested and they care and they're in it for the people and all that. But if you're just in it for the stream because you want to have fun, we could probably get you to buy $5 worth of higher, but I doubt you're going to donate that to the. I'm not sure. But
No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
It's,
I think keep it fun in the chat. I think that's 100% right.
mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, gentlemen, I think I'm wrapped up here. I'm happy. Anything else on your mind?
I want to say it was super fun to kind of be an audience member for like the first hour and a bit. I find that when I'm in here, and you guys know because you see me in the perm pool chat as well, my brain's just always firing with stuff to do higher. So it's nice to just I can just sit back and take it in.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm glad that was an enjoyable experience. Obviously, you're a biased individual, but it is cool to hear that it's fun to watch, or at least enjoyable.
Enjoyable. The lower thirds logo looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, when it was there, sometimes it covered your face, Brian, but other than that, it's all good.
I love it. And as we go, maybe we'll get better at pacing and it does get be fun for viewers at some time watching these chats, but and cool.
Didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
But
I was like trying to decipher a little bit. I was like, damn, all I heard is cool.
I got nothing.
Like me the other day when I was cutting off talking about cucumbers. It happens to the best of us.
It happens. All right, guys.
All right.
See you guys in the chat.
See you in the chat.
Peace, guys.